And the bacteria of the bubonic plague, from the research I've done, can't even be seen under a normal light microscope. To even see the bacteria, you have to stain it with some kind of a dye. And guess what happens if you do stain the bacteria with this dye? It actually kills the bacteria. So it's never happened. It's a complete lie. But charismatics tell it as truth. Lake had an affair with a very young lady named Carol Goodnow, 17-year-old girl from South Africa, moved to the United States to be with him. So, I mean, he's just a scoundrel and a sexual deviant. And John G. Lake also claimed to be Elijah. Will the real Elijah please stand up? Smith Wigglesworth. Smith Wigglesworth, another revered general of God amongst the charismatic movement. They love him, they revere him. He was a British guy, British evangelist. He was known for distributing prayer cloths. Give him money and he will give you a prayer cloth and God will heal you, per Acts 19 kind of thing. And he said, it is a disgrace for a believer to go to a doctor. So you see this current, this stream of anti-medicine within the charismatic movement. It remains so to this day. Smith Wigglesworth said this to one man. He said, "I'll only pray for you once. To pray twice is unbelief." He said to one sick person who returned a second night, "Didn't I pray for you last night? You are full of unbelief. Get off this platform." So mercy apparently was not his predominant spiritual gift. Now, Smith Wigglesworth was very unusual in that he was known for hitting people, punching people, and even kicking people. He would do so because he claimed to have the ability to see demons attached to people, and if you're sick, it's because you have a demon of whatever sickness you've got attached to you. So if you've got cancer, the demon of cancer is attached to you. If you've got muscular dystrophy, the demon of muscular dystrophy has wrapped itself around you. And Wigglesworth claimed to be able to see these demons. Nobody else could, but he could. And of course, the only way to dislodge said demon from said sick person, of course, is to punch it off, right? Or kick it off. Just like we see Jesus and the apostles doing in the New Testament, right? Yeah. Watch this video clip from the Sid Roth program. Now, Sid Roth, he has a program on TBN entitled It's Supernatural. Has some of the looniest, zaniest people you could ever imagine with the nuttiest stories. But Sid Roth here is going to be interviewing the great-granddaughter of Smith Wigglesworth. And Sid Roth is going to reenact a claim that is told to this day about Smith Wigglesworth, and it will absolutely shock you. Watch this.
Hello, Sid Roth here. Welcome to my world, where it's naturally supernatural. I have read of the great men and women of faith. One in particular intrigues me so much. His name, Smith Wigglesworth. He had some of the most outrageous miracles I ever heard of in my life. Let me give you one example. Some parents had a 2-month-old baby dying in the hospital. The parents kidnapped the child, took the child to a Smith Wigglesworth meeting, and Smith looks at the child, looks at the parents and says, "Can I do what God tells me to do?" Well, what would you do if you were the parents? The child's dying anyway, right? He takes the baby, 2-month-old, throws the baby against the wall. The baby. Then the baby's on the floor. Have you ever seen someone play soccer? Have you ever seen them kick a soccer ball? He does that with the baby. The baby falls into the congregation. No crying. Is it dead? 100% healed. No harm.
Is that not shocking? Unless you think there are not people in this world dumb enough to believe this, the very fact that Sid Roth put it on his television program and aired it to the entire world, the very fact that it remains on his YouTube channel to this very day, is self-evident, inherent proof that there are people in this world dumb enough to believe that. Smith Wigglesworth, oh, he's one of God's generals. He's the man of God. And remember, one of the charismatic mantras that you hear all the time in this movement is this: what God does for one, He'll do for you. And so someone is sitting at home and they're watching this. Smith Wigglesworth, God's general. Wow. Well, my kid is sick. My neighbor's kid is sick. What God does for one, He'll do for you. There's an astonishing lack of discernment in the charismatic movement. Amy Semple McPherson